Okay, so we're diving into something pretty cool today. Image to 3D generation.
Really interesting stuff.
Yeah, and specifically a model called HI3D. So imagine like you take a photograph, just one photograph, and it
Right.
like becomes this 3D model
Yeah.
with tons of detail, high resolution.
It's something that researchers have,
Been working on.
been working on for a while, and previous methods, I think it's fair to say, they kind of fell short.
Yeah, they weren't great.
Yeah.
Like if you're only working with one image,
Yeah.
it's like you're
That's
missing
tough.
like half the pieces to the puzzle.
Right, right. You're trying to kind of infer all that 3D information that's just not there in a single 2D image.
Exactly.
It's tricky.
Yeah. But HI3D, this is different. This is like a game changer. They're using, get this,
Right.
video diffusion models.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's like they're using a tool that's meant for understanding motion and movement to reconstruct something in 3 dimensions.
So instead of just seeing a snapshot,
Right.
it's like HI3D is imagining the object is moving.
Yeah, exactly. It's like imagine you have this virtual turntable, right? And it's slowly spinning this 3D model. That's kind of what HI3D is doing internally. It's generating all these different views of the object. And it's doing that by using, and this is where it gets really cool, they use this massive data set to train it.
Yeah, the GitHub repo mentioned that. Something like 300,000 videos.
Yeah, over 300,000 videos.
Wow.
And that allows it to learn.
So it's not just making up viewpoints. It's like drawing on all this data.
Yeah, it's like it's developed this internal library of how things look from all these different angles.
Okay, so that's the first step, creating these multiple views.
Yeah.
But then they do something else.
Right. That's just the first part. The real magic happens in what they call 3D-aware multi-view refinement.
Okay, so what's happening there? What is that all about?
So imagine you have, let's say, a bunch of sketches of an object, all from different angles.
Okay, yeah.
And they're pretty good sketches, right? They give you the basic shape,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still a little rough, right?
Yeah.
This refinement stage is where it all comes together. It's where they take those rough views and, using depth information, they refine them and sculpt them into this really cohesive 3D structure.
So it's adding like a whole other layer of understanding. Like it's not just what it sees, it's also how far away things are.
Precisely.
So how do they actually do that? How do they make it that good?
They use this cool technique. It's called Gaussian splatting.
Okay. And essentially what they're doing is they're using this technique to create even more views beyond what they generated in that first stage.
More views?
More views.
Mm.
Because more data means
Yeah.
a more detailed and smoother 3D reconstruction. Think of it like adding pixels to an image. The more pixels you have, the sharper the image.
Right. So it's like Gaussian splattering is like adding pixels, but for 3D models.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, and it's that attention to detail that really sets HI3D apart.
It's really incredible. It feels like this is like a huge step forward in what we can do with image to 3D. It really makes you wonder, like, what could we do with this? This is huge, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think about it. Medical imaging, for one.
Yeah, that's like the first thing that pops into my head. Like, imagine you could take a scan
Yeah,
and
it becomes this 3D model. Like, that would be huge for doctors.
right, for diagnostics, treatment planning, the possibilities are, I mean, they're really endless. And it goes way beyond medicine too, right? We could be talking architecture, manufacturing. I even saw someone mention archaeology. Anything where you need to create these 3D models, but you only have limited visual data.
Yeah, it's like suddenly everyone with a phone has this, like, 3D modeling studio in their pocket. But okay, so I got to ask, how does it actually perform? Like, did they really put it through its paces?
Oh yeah, they definitely didn't go easy on it. In the paper, they talk about all these tests they ran, like novel view synthesis.
Okay, break that down for me. What's that?
So remember that virtual turntable we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Imagine stopping it at any point, right?
Okay, yeah.
And taking a snapshot. Can HI3D create that image even though it wasn't in the original input? That's novel view synthesis. And they also tested, single view reconstruction. Like, can it take that one image and build the whole model?
The main event. So, how'd it do? Spill the tea.
Honestly, it blew the competition out of the water. Sharper details, better multi-view consistency. It's incredibly realistic.
That's so cool. So it sounds like it really is like pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
Yeah, it's a big deal. But, every new technology has its limitations, right? And there are always more things to figure out.
Sure, of course. So was there anything that you saw in the research that you found like particularly interesting? Or maybe even something that you weren't expecting?
One thing that caught my eye was how they played around with these things called random seeds.
Random seeds. Okay, now we're getting into like digital gardening or something.
Kinda. Think of them as variables. They introduce a bit of randomness into how the 3D model gets generated.
Okay.
So even if you have the same input image, if you tweak these seeds, you get a slightly different 3D model each time.
So it's not just like input, output. There's some like variation built in.
Exactly. And I think that opens up some really interesting possibilities, especially when you start thinking about using a tool like this for art.
It's like we always think about AI as being so like logical,
Right.
but this is like there's this element of like, I don't know, almost like human artistry to it.
It's really interesting, right? It challenges what we think AI can do because it's not just about recreating something. It's about like creating something new.
Like what if you took like a painting or even just a sketch,
Yeah.
fed it into HI3D, and then just played with those seeds?
Imagine the possibilities. Each one would be unique, right?
Yeah,
Just a different take on that original idea.
Right.
It could change how we think about art.
totally.
Mm.
From one little idea, you could have like a whole exhibit of sculptures or digital art.
That would be amazing.
But even beyond art, I don't know, there's something kind of deep about this whole random seed thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, what does it mean for AI? We're
Sure.
introducing randomness. Does that make it more creative?
It's a total mind warp. And to think, this all started because we were like looking at this one research paper.
It's amazing where these deep dives can take us, right? You start with one thing.
You never know where you'll end up.
Exactly.
Well, for our listeners, if you want to like really go down the rabbit hole on this one,
Please do.
check out the paper. It's actually easier to read than you might think.
Yeah.
Even if you're not like a tech wizard.
Yeah, and the visuals they have in there, especially for the random seeds, it's really cool to see.
It really shows you how those little changes can make such a big difference. So who knows, maybe this will inspire you. Maybe you'll come up with a totally new way to use this tech.
I love it.
Or maybe you'll just get lost in the world of 3D modeling and AI. Either way, it's a win.
Absolutely.
This has been The Deep Dive, and we've been exploring HI3D.
It's been fun.
It really makes you think about the future of, well, everything, doesn't it? Thanks for listening.